Have you ever had a woman end things with you by saying she just wasn't feeling it? Or maybe she was just too busy, and then you come to find that she's with some other dude, like all happy and thirsting over him and shit? Hey, what's up? It's me, Jessica J, former marriage and family therapist and Playboy radio show host turned dating coach for men. And today I'm gonna talk to you about the real reason we women don't necessarily feel something for you when you've got a lot going on for you, and then tend to go for some fuck all nobody who doesn't seem to have anything going for him. And spoiler alert, it always has to do with how you make us feel. So to make sure you never miss out on another opportunity to hear how you are making women feel or not feel, or another one of my videos, don't forget to hit that subscribe button with that notification bell. Okay, so I've told this story time and time again, but I'm gonna reiterate it to you now for the sake of this specific video. I had a friend who had a lot going for her. She was super fucking fine. She was a yoga instructor in school with me, working full time as well. So she really did have a busy life, and she also had a very busy social life. So then my other guy friend, I don't know how I ended up setting them up, but whatever. They ended up meeting at a party, I think. And so he asked her out, and she says yes. But the reason I'm cringing already is because he was like, last video, like, I can't believe she's single. I can't believe she agreed to go out on a date with me. Like, bro, chill. You don't even know her. I'm telling you, she kind of sucks. Anyway, they go out on date, and exactly what I thought would happen would happen. He's so fucking sprung on this chick, and she's very meh about him. And mind you, he's got a lot going for him. He's like 6'3", in the entertainment industry. I think he's fine as hell, and he's hilarious, and he's so nice. He's got a lot going for him on paper. However, she made him feel meh, and I knew he would. So cut to her ending things with him by saying she's just too busy to date right now, which again, on paper, would justify that, would, back that up. So he's very butthurt and distraught over it, only to find out a week later that she was very much sprung on another yoga instructor who had fuck all going for him. I think he was actually borderline homeless, but now she's in a relationship with this guy like a week later. So what happened? And have you ever caught yourself in a situation like this where you, knowing you got a lot going for you, knowing you're a good guy to women, notice that other guys of lesser quality or lesser value or seemingly lesser XYZ seems to get the women when you don't? So this is all going to boil down to what I always talk about when it comes to getting us women chasing after you like a bunch of hungry hippos. And I'm telling you, we do it, is creating connections and chemistry. However, what do I always say chemistry is? Chemistry is merely a set of reactions, right? You need to be able to react to me, and I need to be able to react to you. But a lot of you guys come in here pedestalizing the puss, over questioning, like, what do you like to do for fun? Oh, you like to hang out with friends? I also like to hang out with friends. Like, how many sparks do you think are gonna fly out of this dynamic with you talking to me like that? Fuck all sparks. So let's talk about what's gonna make it happen. So again, I always explain to my clients that the more back and forth we could have, the more electrifying it's gonna feel between us. So if you think of like a ping pong match or a pickleball match or a tennis match, we all enjoy seeing the ball go back and forth, right? It kind of sucks when like you see one person hit it and the next person misses, and then they hit again and then they miss again. There's nothing exciting about that. But when you can see people flying across the court and see that ball moving back and forth, it feels energizing. So the more back and forth you can have, and when I say back and forth, I'm gonna explain that in a second, but the more back and forth between us in regards to an engaging dynamic, the more sparks we're gonna feel, the more reactions we're gonna have to one another, and therefore the more chemistry we're gonna create between us. Because connections and chemistry are feelings. You and I talking about the shit we like to do for fun and where we grew up and what we studied in college, these are all cerebral conversation topics. However, you and I connecting based on who you are, based on who I am, and reacting to one another at a purely genuine level, at a purely authentic level, that's what's gonna create feelings in the body. So discussions about who we are is gonna stay in the brain. Reacting to who we actually are is gonna be in our bodies. And that's where we feel sparks. We don't think about sparks, we feel them. And we can only feel them if we're in our bodies. Does that make sense? Are you feeling me? You with me so far? Okay. Because attraction isn't logical. Any which way you look at yourself and say, I'm a great guy, I got a lot going for me, that's gonna mean fuck all to us women, because we chase our feelings because we're not rational. There is no such thing as a logical, rational woman when it comes to our feelings. And that's that's something you're really gonna need to understand. That's why you could take a look at this homeless guy right here and see that he's getting all the puss when you have a home and are not getting the puss. Okay, so let's get back to what's gonna get you the puss. I'm sorry, obviously there's more to women than just the puss, but whatever, you get what I'm saying. So again, mental connections versus visceral physiological connections. And going back to my haunted house analogy, are you going to lead us there? Are you and I gonna walk up to this said haunted house and you're gonna push me in front of you by saying, so give me a topic that you like to talk about so I could cling on to you and you go first? Or are you gonna show up as you and invite me in to the dynamic based on you? So you always hear me talk about PRS plus hey, which means personal relevant statement plus a how about you. That means you say something about yourself and then you invite me in. And that's what starts the connection process, is you giving of yourself with something like, Jessica, I'm not wearing pants today watching your YouTube video. How about you? And then I'll be like, I'm actually wearing pants because I was cold when I started, but I'm gonna take them off by the end of this video. And then you saying, so it sounds like we'll both be pantsless by the end of this. Again, this is you leading that interaction. That's you giving of yourself, then engaging me to discuss myself based on you, and then you moving it forward by saying, we will both be pantsless by the end of this. That is what it means to lead. The dynamic is that you give yourself. There can be no connection without you in this, without me in this. And how can we react to one another if you're not genuinely in this and I'm not genuinely in this? And how can we both move forward into the haunted house? We're not holding hands. If you're not holding me tight, I'm not gonna go into that haunted house if you're not holding my hand at the very fucking least. And a lot of you guys are trying to move things forward without us holding hands. So again, that's why the connection is tantamount to moving things forward. So that's why a lot of you don't feel comfortable moving things forward, because you're actually not connected. I forgot where I was going all this, and also the topic of this video. Okay, why she's feeling sparks with him. Again, the more present you can be and the more personal you can be, the more we're going to feel your presence. And that's what it means to create sparks, is you and I are right here feeling something and reacting to one another together. So yeah, you might look at him and be like, my muscles are bigger, but it's not gonna fucking matter. You don't need a flamethrower to create a fire. You just fucking don't. I've seen people do it with sticks. So again, stop worrying about the size of the stick or whatever. It's a simple me, you, us. Me, you, us. And the more back and forths we can have, the more we're gonna feel between us. So if you're sitting there telling a long fucking winded story that doesn't involve anything she can relate to or doesn't involve her at all, that's you just hitting that fucking ball and she's not getting it. You're just hitting that fucking ball and she's like, I'm missing it. I'm missing it. It has nothing to do with her. But you say something, you engage her. Say something about you, you engage her. The more we can keep this back and forth, the more we're gonna feel. And the more you just sit there and talk at her like a fucking, I was gonna say plebe, but I don't even know what that means. Somebody just says it to me all the time. The more you just sit and talk at her like a fucking asshole, the less she's gonna feel. Or the more you just sit there and ask her question after question after question after question, I'm gonna feel like a fucking idiot. I wanna know you, but I also want to engage with you. And we women, we will engage as much as you lead us to engage. So going back to reiterate, I feel like there was like no organization to this video whatsoever, but I hope you get the gist of it, which is me, you, us, right here, right now. And if you want a more proper framework for it, I've yet to increase the price on my Speak to Spark Arousal program, because once upon a time, it takes tech to relaunch programs at a new price. So yeah, it hasn't been increased to the new price yet. So if you want to grab Speak to Spark Arousal right now, which is my step-by-step system for creating connections and chemistry, go to speaktosparkarousal.com. You can get it at the low price of $69 right now before we bump it up, which I'm hoping is going to happen in the next week or two. But again, it's all based on like how fast we could get like certain tech shit up and running. But either way, me, you, us, right here, right now. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.